Howdy, howdy, and welcome to another Trash Take. Today we're going to talk about Twitch's golden boy, HASAN Piker, and his crossing with Elon Musk. That's right, elongated muskrat for long. If you haven't been on Twitter recently, I still don't suggest getting on social media. It's still pretty fucking feral right now. But Elon Musk has been retweeting a bunch of videos of HASAN Piker calling for death, saying America deserved 9/11, talking about political intimidation via showing up to politicians' house with guns to try to get them to step out of power, and then also him calling for violence against political streamers that he disagrees with. This is all, some of it's old, some of it's new, some of it's recent, so it's a little bit of a shotgun, but I want to talk about that today, and I think it's fucking hilarious. Pulling up Elon Musk's official Twitter account, you can tell because it's got the little check and the X next to it, you can see some of his recent posts about HASAN Piker saying America deserves 9/11. Let's hear it from HASAN Piker.
This guy has the understanding of foreign policy of like a 12-year-old. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Didn't he go to war and like literally lose his eye because some mujahideen, a brave fucking soldier, fucked his eye hole with their dick? Isn't that how he lost his fucking dumbass eye? Because he got his fucking eye hole fucked? America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm sick.
Yeah, pretty golden. And I'll give him context. HASAN Piker says America deserves 9/11 for our intervention in the Middle East and how much we've gone over and butt-fucked those countries out of existence and created terror cells, essentially. That's the context for this. Him saying some, what did he say? What was the exact words?
A brave fucking soldier?
A brave soldier, a terrorist, he's referring to as a brave soldier, which is a commonality with HASAN Piker. His stance on American politics is, whatever America does is bad, everyone else is good. That's literally his stance. So if we designate them as a terrorist organization, he designates them as their best friend. That's how that works with him. But that's not the only thing he's retweeted of HASAN. He's also pointed out the fact that HASAN has previously posted a video of posted a picture of the gun that killed Shinoza Abe, which is a Japanese prime minister, in response to an individual that he didn't like making fun of Hamas, pro-Hamas mob blocking traffic. This was HASAN's response. Mind you, HASAN says everything's out of context, so now people are reposting this with the context to show how much of an unhinged fucking radical retard he is. And HASAN has responded to this, by the way. But that's not the only thing HASAN's recently done. This was a video I thought about. This was a clip that's going around pretty viral. And I thought about making a video about this a few days ago. But I wanted to let it go a little bit further, see how juicier it got. And it finally hit a good point to where I think it's worth showing now. And I will provide a little bit of context with some of these because I was around for some of these. But I want to make you fully aware. No matter what happens, there will be people who will never agree and they'll always say it's hyperbole. But you need to understand the current context of the American politics and the rhetoric that's been going around. The left is saying the right's rhetoric's bad. The right is saying the left's rhetoric's bad. Both of them are pretty fucking bad sometimes. But we're getting to the point where Twitch is openly allowing a dude to say some really terroristic shit, calling for people to die, and he gets a 1-day ban. And then you call someone fat on Twitch, you get a 7-day ban, which happened to Tectone here. And my issue is Twitch's TOS is dog shit because they have had leftists infest them. It's the long march, like I talked about in a previous video. They're in the institutes. They don't enforce TOS because they don't want you and they want you to be demoralized and they want to do it as a force of subjugation on normal people. It's the whole reason why I fucking hate modern politics because I can't tell who's good faith or who's a leftist retard that wants the downfall of American society because American, you can't believe them bad, okay? Anyways, I'm going to play the full video now.
Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them.
Yeah, you know, that's some pretty non-hostile political rhetoric there, talking about political opponents you disagree with. Go ahead and brutally kill them, you know, that's beautiful. Good job. HASAN Piker
you need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage.
Guys, it's just hyperbole, guys. He only ever talks about brutally murdering political opponents, guys. It's all hyperbole every single time. Why can't you see when he calls for the death of Governor Rick Scott that it's hyperbole, guys? He doesn't really want him dead. He just says he wants him dead, guys. Come on, use your brain, guys. Really? And I know people are going to defend HASAN. He is a cult leader. He has a cult following. They would bend over backwards. These people are mentally unwell. You need to be calling out this type of rhetoric everywhere you see it, not just left-wing, but also right-wing. And the issue is the right has called this rhetoric out repeatedly. People that have on the right who've been calling for death are getting called out daily. No one has allowed this to happen, and they've been getting canceled for years, rightfully so. I believe in cancel culture. If you're calling for people to be brutally fucking murdered, yeah, you need to get some fucking canceled. Yeah, you need to get fucking canceled. I don't want you a part of my society. You're the problem with society. I don't care if you're a leftist or a rightist. If you're openly calling for people to die, you're what's wrong with the world. Yeah.
Slice him up. Slice him and fucking dice him. What the fuck is this?
Sorry for the pixels. It's a constant repeat.
Letting their intestines just ride on stage.
This is Tectone trying to show a connection between Hasan's rhetoric and Charlie dying. Is Hasan Piker directly responsible for Charlie Kirk's death? I don't think so. But also, the dude who shot is not a right-winger by any means. He has a trans furry boyfriend. He wrote anti-fascist slogans on the bullets. The dude who shot Charlie Kirk is clearly a leftist. It's clearly all the leftists cheering. Them trying to say he's a right-winger is a form of deflection and deception. They're trying to convince retarded people that, you know what, maybe this is possible. No, use your fucking brain. When someone on the right is killed, it's normally someone on the left that kills them. When someone on the left is killed, it's normally someone on the right that kills them. Their level of mental instability will vary, but it's still evil. That is the only point I'm trying to make. I don't want to get into the argument with it, but this guy who killed Charlie clearly must be a right-winger because there's no reason for a right-winger to kill Charlie Kirk. It makes no fucking sense.
Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit. Murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
He's talking about landlords here. Funny enough, his mom is a landlord, by the way. Hasan Piker uses Amazon's own Twitch.tv to call for violence against elected officials.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Kill Rick Scott.
Yeah, he actually says it twice. You would kill Rick Scott. If you cared about Medicaid or Medicare fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. That's the context of it. My issue is he's openly calling for someone to be killed, but people will still say that's hyperbole. People will still say that's hyperbole, which is fucking crazy to me. I've never thought once, let me call for someone to be killed and then just say it's hyperbole and that's going to make it go away. No, I fully expect if I'm calling for someone to be killed to get a knock on the door from the FBI. But for some odd reason, this motherfucker keeps to get a free goddamn pass every single time. And I personally believe it's probably due to incompetence at the FBI, not the schizophrenic conspiracy theory that they're trying to build a strong enough case against him, because they literally could have SEAL Team 6's home at any point for the shit he said. But I digress. Let's continue.
I'm going to kill you with my AR-15. Like, that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's this dude's office.
Yeah, Hasan praises the effectiveness of terroristic threats, and this is exactly what I have been saying. It's an intimidation tactic. When they say this unhinged shit and they target specific people, the reason they do it is to get their crazy viewers to go out to actually try and do something. It's the reason we saw the video of saying kill all of Charlie Kirk's family. This shit is not isolated. It is a tactic that they use. It's also the same tactics that the Gestapo used in World War II. You know, the Nazis, the secret police, the Gestapo. Yeah, this is the same shit they do. It's intimidation. It's political intimidation. It's political violence. It's very fucking clear what's going on here. But for some odd fucking reason, I'm still going to have some retard in the comment section tell me I'm just looking too far into it and that he's just making a joke. He's openly telling his group when he has the attention on him that political intimidation works effectively. That is what he is doing.
And he's resigning. Like, he's literally, this is his...
Yeah, look. Political intimidation worked. People are threatening to show up, and he's finally resigning, and the people start cheering. There is a direct connection between the political violence that he said and someone resigning. But Hasan just like, you know, I'm just connecting those two things. I don't actually mean it, guys. I'm not telling you to go politically intimidate people, but it's clearly working, you know? Like, are we this fucking stupid? And I'm not. Maybe you are if you're agreeing with him, but holy shit.
You actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, you know, someone has to do it.
Yes. Someone has to do it. It's a very common euphemism for killing Trump or killing a political official. Because these people have a 20 IQ and they think their dog whistles are so hard to understand. Versus when I see right-wing dog whistles, it's like TND or... Yeah, TND. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? After spending an hour wearing my schizo hat, I found out it's the most unhinged feral shit known to mankind versus a leftist dog whistle, which is just, I want to brutally murder you and I'm making it pretty fucking clear from the get-go, but I'm really hoping the police won't raid me, and I'm really hoping this defense works really well in the court of law, but here's me saying it 20 times in the roll, and my videos are never taken down, and I'm never removed off social media for violating the TOS, because every time a moderator looks at it, they're actually leftists and they agree with me, and they just and they just actually ignore the report, which is what's happening everywhere. It's what's happening at twitch.com. It's what's happening on social media is you have these low-wage leftist retards that are in positions of power, and they're using their power to further their political movement.
See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean.
Everyone knows exactly what I mean when I say that.
Which is, I think that shows that there is a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped potential.
Anger, resentment, and untapped potential. Untapped potential to do what, Hasan? You just talked about using a euphemism to kill someone. Now you're saying untapped potential. What the fuck is this guy doing?
Untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the revolution is now, comrades. Overthrow the capitalists. Yeah, he's basically making a euphemism asking people to please kill Trump because that's what the revolution needs. The CEO of Twitch, Dan Clancy, has stated that HASAN PIKER is his favorite content creator. Yeah, he sung him happy birthday, in fact. He got the Twitch moderation staff to sing him happy birthday. It was fucking wild.
Not a gamer himself, Clancy mostly watches musicians or talk shows on Twitch. He particularly enjoys leftist political commentator HASAN PIKER, who has 2.5 million followers on the platform.
2.5 million followers on the platform. And here's videos of him openly calling for death. Guys, I'm sorry, but why the fuck has this guy not been canceled? Like, why the fuck is this allowed? How are we as a country allowing absolute hatred to be spread by this motherfucker? I don't understand it. I don't. Because if I said a tenth of what Hasan has, I would fully expect to be fired, I would fully expect the police to knock on my door, and I'd fully expect to be in jail for the rest of my fucking life. All three of those in that order.
I like the frankness and the bluntness, Clancy said. He's comfortable saying what he believes.
True. Here's him posting the picture of the gun in response to someone he disagreed with, which Twitter actually took down for inciting violence. Because even Twitter acknowledged, holy shit, this is fucking ridiculous. Thank you, Elon Musk. Thank you. Are you comfortable with HASAN PIKER saying what he believes?
Someone has to do it.
Demand the dismissal of Twitch CEO and exclusively trust and safety team. HASAN PIKER must be permanently banned. These are the people responsible, specifically the trust and safety team, for enforcing bans at twitch.com, or twitch.tv, sorry, which is owned by Amazon, which is why we go back here. Elon Musk is tagging Jeff Bezos. Now, I'll give you Hasan's viewpoint, but this is way more recent. This was the day before Charlie Kirk was killed. And I'm paraphrasing that to let you know the time frame of when his political rhetoric has been so kind and wonderful, and how he's never been part of the problem. Right, guys? Right? Am I saying it right? HASAN PIKER.
The moment is clear. You got to sick like the ACP guys on him. Okay, that's it. You got to get one of those like Dink type motherfuckers to just like eat his ass alive, you know? Let him fight. Whatever the fuck his name is. What is it? The Albanian dude?
The point of this clip is to show you HASAN PIKER, even recently, has still been acting for political violence. This is Nick Fuentes. I consider him a right-winger just because I saw clips of him talking about a white nationalist country where basically only white people are allowed to hold political office, and I consider him a right-winger because of that. HASAN PIKER is doing what he always does. He's always called for political violence, even recently. Now, ever since Charlie Kirk's death, I haven't really seen him be piping up. He's been really fucking quiet, and rightfully so. Anyone right now knows that the right now currently has the power to cancel and is effectively using it, I'd say. This is Hasan's response. You're such a weirdo, man. He's posting a picture of Elon Musk basically saying if you got fired for tweeting that you believe that men are men and women are women and a man just can't be a man, we will pay for your legal bill. Hasan's taking it out of context to act like he's saying, oh, look, Elon Musk is funding people calling for death threats. That's not what Elon Musk is funding. He's funding freedom of speech from people who aren't fucking radical extremists, but Hasan's going to completely ignore it. And then his comment down below is the asymmetrical acceptance of violence also exists in speech. No, it fucking doesn't. And then I wanted to pull this up as well. This is HASAN Piker talking about Charlie Kirk. HASAN Piker does this thing where he says everything's out of context. So, he might go through a great effort to make sure when he posts something it isn't out of context, right? 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 If you've been paying attention, the answer is no. Charlie Kirk opposed the civil acts right. As harsh as that sounds, Charlie Kirk, only reason he says he opposes it, and it's specifically, mainly due to the fact that it's currently being used by modern Democrats to stop voter ID laws. They basically say black people are too stupid, so it's racially hurting them, and they say black people will be disproportionately affected because they're too stupid to get driver's license, so we can't allow driver's license as a form of voter identification at the poll. That is literally what Democrats are saying. This is literally where this came from, because Charlie Kirk brought it up, thinking that it's racist for Democrats to in fact say that they believe so little in black people and being able to do a basic thing like get a driver's license. And I agree with Kirk. I don't agree that I'd say the Civil Rights Act right now is being used in the wrong way. I don't want people to get this twisted in any way, shape, or form, and I know people already are. I judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Everyone has a right to be a decent human being, no matter who you are, no matter what color you are, no matter where you're born. But, HASAN posted that out of context clearly means nothing, right? He called George Floyd a scumbag. Yeah, he did say that, because George Floyd has felonies. He's done armed robbery against a woman and her child. The day he died, he was, in fact, the police called on him for fleeing the scene after using a $20 counterfeit bill to buy cigarettes, I believe. Kirk was very specific, saying the left burned down our cities over the scumbag George Floyd, which is right. They absolutely did burn down fucking multiple cities. Black Lives Matter had massive protests. It was crazy to me that this was an idol chosen to represent America, when it's a criminal who really has no moral or ethical value that's being represented by the masses. I was very confused by that. I still am. I'm not saying he deserved to die. I don't believe people deserve to die just because the police are trying to arrest you. I think the police failed in seeing that he was dying from a drug overdose. That's my personal belief. The coroner's report also said he had multiple lethal doses of drugs in his system. So if you disagree with that, whatever. I know there's a second coroner's report that the family got that they used in the trial, and the judge basically jury-picked evidence, and the cops were found guilty of murder. I disagree with that, but trial by peers has its benefits and it has its downsides. The cop, Derek Shavov, or whoever his name was, he had a history of being what looked like pretty racist. He was not a good person. But at the same time, George Floyd wasn't a good person either. I think the cops failed to see George Floyd was dying of a drug overdose on that day. I feel like that shouldn't have happened, but it's also the fact that everyone to act like George Floyd was a fucking saint is asinine. That's all. That's why he called George Floyd a scumbag. If you disagree with that, and you don't think someone who's robbed women and their children at gunpoint, and also fucking using counterfeit money to buy shit isn't a scumbag, okay, cool, whatever. He also said he'd be worried about black pilots. This comes after a plane crashed, actually, and they were talks about DEI and how it was affecting American institutes, and how people were actually lowering their standards to have diversity hires be put on boards or positions of power when they weren't meeting the actual test requirements. Because that's racist to actually give people different standards by skin color. You are discriminating everyone else or giving people benefits solely because of the color of their skin. That's what Charlie Kirk was talking about with black pilots. But yet again, HASAN would never say anything out of context. And then that he'd force his daughter to carry pregnancy to term if she was raped. Forcing his daughter is not the right word per se. He said he would be okay with it. But basically in a 1v20 Jubilee interview, some lady he was basically talking with about medical necessity abortions. And his point was, there's a lot of women that get abortions that say it's a medical necessity, but it isn't. And as a topic, abortion, the one where the fetus is dead, basically is a medical necessity because it'll kill the mother if it stays in there. Versus the vast majority of abortions, which are people doing as a form of birth control. He thought that was morally reprehensible. And he also believes that everyone has their own chance at life. He believes all children are innocent, and that's where this viewpoint comes from. So the girl in the Jubilee interview asked him, if you had a 10-year-old daughter and she got raped, would you force her to have the child? And he's like, I wouldn't be against it. Why? Because he is a fundamental Christian. His faith comes first. And his argument in that video was specifically, what's the difference between a child that's born of love and a child that's born of rape? His viewpoint is children are always innocent no matter what and deserve a fair chance at life. If you don't believe that, I'm not holding it against you. That's what I'm saying was he had one extremist viewpoint. That's why I say he's a moderate-leaning right. This is where I get this term from. Now, he shouldn't have been killed. I agree with HASAN here, but he definitely was an extremist. I disagree with HASAN here, considering 3 of the 4 points are out of context. Yes, Charlie did say them, but the context here is lacking greatly. The reason why he said these was reactionary and was to make people think about what's actually happening in this world and how Democrats are currently using systems and ways that he did not agree with. But I digress. Why did I make this video? Because Elon Musk is now on the side of cancel culture. And the people who we're trying to cancel are the ones brutally calling for your murder and openly cheering when you do get murdered. And if you think those people deserve a place in society, how about we go build an item? How about we go build an island and we'll send you all over there and see how well that society works? Because I don't want those people in my society. They are a danger to me and everyone around me. Even if you're a Democrat, they're still going to come for you. These people are radical extremists. It is a cult of ideology that demands constant humiliation in order to self-flagellation in order to serve whatever purpose it is. It's something that I see as very scary in a modern era where there's so much readily available information and there's so much propaganda going around and it's so easy to fact check shit. And even now you have AI too that can help you even if you don't know where to start. The best place to do if you really don't know where to start is just look stuff up. Look up what Charlie Kirk actually said. Look up the context of it. Come to your own conclusions. If you think he's a sack of shit, that's fine. I don't care. If you don't want to celebrate his death, okay. I'm not forcing you to. If you're openly cheering and saying who's next, I'm going to have some issues with that. That's morally reprehensible. That is where I draw the line. I don't know where you draw the line, but that's where I do. I want to thank you very much for making it this far. Just another video of me ranting. I hope you guys have a wonderful time. If you like the video, feel free to like it, comment down below, or subscribe. This is a video with HASAN Piker in it, so I can already imagine my comment section is going to get pretty feral pretty quickly. If you disagree with me and believe that HASAN Piker is actually a good guy and these weren't calls to death and they're hyperbole, I have a bridge to sell you in Zimbabwe for about $10 billion. Please message me independently, though. Thank you for that. I'll talk to you next time. Later.